Daily right here on the Muskegon Channel. I'm Andy O'Reilly. Dave Cackley's over yonder. He's got his purple shirt on once again. He's doing his hands. What's with the hand signals? Are you sending signals to aliens or something every day when you do your?
I just
because every day it's some little coded message. You know,
not at all.
I've been watching a lot of Ancient Aliens.
Uh-huh.
I know that you're sending messages to somebody. So when you start this up,
this, or this.
What? Who are you trying to communicate with?
That's not. I cannot divulge that.
Oh,
I'm
so
not
you
at
are
liberty.
saying that there's some conspiracy.
I'm not saying I am. I'm not saying I'm not. I'm not. That's my no comment. No comment on those things. Remember, for years we didn't know why Carol Burnett was doing that, and evidently it was some stupid gesture to her daughter or something, or mom. I don't know what the hell it was, but this is, You could say it's some type of communication that I'm doing with somebody. I don't know. I mean, maybe I do know, and maybe I'm just not telling you. I can't, but I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say why I'm doing that. So
you know what this is?
I have no idea what that is.
Well, you should get
weird
to know
look.
what that is.
A weird
Grandkids
look.
don't know what that is.
Uh-huh.
That's the stink eye.
Okay. All right.
Confess.
Not very threatening.
Who are you communicating with?
I'm not going to say.
Are you colluding with the Russians?
Maybe. Yeah. That's what that is. Actually, I've been, Robert Mueller called me and asked if I had anything to do with anything. And I said, no, I don't. I don't know how you got this number, but I wish you'd just leave me alone. And he did.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, you're on double secret probation.
Okay. Noted.
Duly noted. Continue on with your newscast while I continue my suspicions.
Okay. You continue with your suspicions. I'm going to start by talking about the news stories I'm not going to discuss yet, or maybe not at all. One thing I will talk about probably tomorrow, because Larry Nasser, that case, he's supposedly going to be sentenced today. Not really sure if for sure that's going to happen, but it looks like that may happen. And so we'll get into that maybe tomorrow. We had the shooting in Kentucky, 17 injured, 2 dead. What surprised me about that is I didn't hear, and maybe I was just missing something either online or on the TV. I didn't hear a lot of discussion about gun control after that for some reason. It's weird. It's like you have these shootings. You usually wait for the typical response from one side or the other, as far as gun advocacy or gun laws go. And I didn't seem to catch any of that. I mean, did you see anything?
Nothing yet.
Did you see the typical? Nothing. That surprised me, because usually that's like the knee-jerk reaction.
Sure.
After one of these horrible events occurs. That the gun laws get debated, and I'm just surprised I didn't hear any of that.
I guess we'll see.
And then going back to the Larry Nasser thing, evidently the NCAA is talking about investigating Michigan State for the. I don't understand. Once again, it makes no sense why the university would cover up for a gymnastics doctor that they fired. This one of the sad things involving this trial is one of the victims mentioned that she went to the police right after her appointment with Nasser, and the cops questioned her, and they took his side. The police investigated this, and it became a he said, she said, because there was no actual evidence. And to me, that's one of those. What's Michigan State supposed to do in that situation?
I'll tell you this.
Like, now they fired him. Fired him. I don't know what you can do if the cops, if the people whose job it is to investigate criminal activity, don't have any evidence. What is Michigan State required to do? Because you have the presumption of innocence with somebody in a situation like this. But I don't understand what Michigan State could have done. I'm not saying they did everything. I don't know, but I don't know if the police can't find anything, what a university is supposed to do.
Well, I'm here to tell you what. This is a better question for our friend Annie Donewald. Because I've talked with her at length about this kind of stuff, and it runs deep in the NCAA. This kind of stuff. It really, really does, and
I,
it's a big mess on a national level in college
mm-hmm.
sports. So the layers of things that get covered up, and the layers of this kind of stuff that goes on, and the the Nasser's one thing, but
Yeah, I think
it
that's
all falls
separate from.
back into the same category of this kind of bad thing that goes on in college athletics and professional athletics. But if you you weren't at the last talk that she did, especially around
No.
college athletics and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
mean,
have no doubt that type of thing goes on. There's no
that's
question.
where the cover up is coming in.
But see,
So,
that's where I think you got to separate, because there's kind of a different mentality when it comes to the revenue generating sports like football and basketball, especially football, where the university might be more apt to cover up something. I'm not saying obviously they shouldn't. I mean, you would think that wouldn't happen, but it does.
right.
So, but they're, once again, they're not going to do that for the gymnastics team.
Well,
I'm sorry, it's
well,
not
but a sport's a
I
sport
don't buy that.
in the grand scheme of things. A sport is a sport in the college world, and I'm just, dude. I'm not going to get into it and debate it ad nauseum with you, but a sport's a sport in the college world.
But no, it's not though.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just saying there's a difference between the gymnastics team, the men's lacrosse team, and football and basketball. You do understand as far as why a university might be more apt to cover the star quarterback's ass.
Let me ask you this though: does the university give out gymnastics scholarships?
I assume they do.
Okay, well, they give
but
out
they're not
football
protecting
scholarships
those
and everything else. So
yeah. But these people were the victims, though. The athletes were the victims in this. Like I said, that Michigan State fired this guy. The idea that they're somehow covering for the gymnastics doctor, it doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense why that. Like, you can, as evil is what went on, like, say, at Penn State was.
Mm-hmm.
What Joe Paterno knew, and what some of these other assistant coaches and what the administration knew, they were looking at as, if this gets out, this is a black eye on our football program. So while they shouldn't have covered it up, because just being a decent human being, you would think, wouldn't allow you to do that, there was a financial incentive to do that. I don't see the financial incentive to cover up for gymnastics.
Black eye is a black eye. So we'll see.
All right. What else is going on? Let's get into it. Democratic leader Chuck Schumer withdrew funding for President Trump's border wall in negotiations over immigration issues with the White House. A staffer who works for Schumer said the proposal which Schumer put on the table last Friday was no longer operative. Trump, of course, said no wall, no DACA. Republican John Cornyn called Schumer's decision a step backward. Of course, Schumer's got to do this because, I mean, when CNN is saying you caved on the lockout or the government shutdown, this is all part of the negotiation. It'll probably be back on the table. They're gonna come to some type of agreement in the next month or so. This is, they'll hash something out.
I'm sorry, but a wall is going to do nothing.
You can't say it's going to do nothing.
It's symbolic.
I would say that. I would say it's probably more symbolism than it is.
Yeah.
But the amount that it's going to actually cost, I'd heard anywhere between like $3 and $18 billion. As much as that seems like a lot when you're talking about, our $20 trillion debt, it's really a drop in the bucket. So they're going to end up giving up more than just the wall if they're going to get DACA taken care of. Yeah. I believe. We'll see how the negotiations go. Yes, Kid Rock's fake campaign for U.S. Senate was pretty successful, at least in terms of merchandise. Rock flirted, of course, with the idea of running against a Democratic Michigan Senator Debbie Stabenow. It was never a serious consideration, but merchandise sales have enabled Rock to donate $122,000 worth of the campaign sales to the College Republican National Committee. Of course, Rock also sent thousands of dollars to Michigan and Tennessee food banks. But for a fake campaign, that did generate a decent amount of bank.
we were talking at the arena a couple of weeks ago, kind of walking down memory lane, and we were talking about Metallica. They came there and played 1991, which was a epic night. I mean, dude, I'm 21 years old. I'm a Metallica fan, and you know, here's your passes to sit in the middle of the stage, and then halfway through the show, the boss comes up and he goes, "Here's your passes for the after show," and you know, me at 21 in an after show with Metallica, you can kind of imagine what went on. It was
nuts.
It was everything you'd expect. And we were talking about the show and the after thing and all that. And I said to the arena manager, Neil, who's been there forever, I said, remember that? You know, he always remembers. He remembers the big ones. And we were talking about the show. He goes, and he looks over at us and he goes, they sold $80,000 worth of novelties that night. So T-shirts and concert tour books and whatever the hell the Metallica freaks wanted that night. $80,000 in merch sales.
That is just, that's insanity. Just not just in one night.
I mean, LC Walker Arena packed to the brim. You're looking at, 4,000, 5,000 people, and you're packed in. That's a lot of money on T-shirts.
Yeah. I mean, how much were those? I mean, those had to be like $30, $40 T-shirts then.
Not back then. It was $20, $25. For a T-shirt for a concert back now. I mean, you don't go to concerts because they don't give out free tickets anymore. Well, but now for a concert T-shirt, you're looking at $40 to $50 at a show.
That's beyond my allowance.
Yeah,
so
I know the feeling.
Not happening. The Polar Plunge set for this weekend in Muskegon. Temperatures expected to be unseasonably warm, but the Muskegon Lake will still be ass-biting cold. The fundraiser for Special Olympics Michigan is scheduled for 2 p.m. Saturday at Hartshorn Marina.
Yes.
And you're going to be out there.
Yep.
And I mean, you know what? Here's the thing: those polar plunges are actually, good for you to do because it's good for your circulation.
You should come out.
To plunge yourself into cold water. Who knows?
Hang on.
Who knows?
Chugga, choo choo. Here comes the excuse train. Chugga.
Well, I got Max. Well, here's the thing: Max has his first basketball game this Saturday.
I knew it.
So he's just starting hoops and fatherhood. I'm a dad before I am
of course,
a philanthropist or somebody who gives to people outside my family. But I salute you for doing it and for being there, and kudos to everybody who takes part. And actually, this is my part, doing it as a news item and discussing it. I would say I've done my part for the Special Olympics there. So
you are a saint.
Kudos to me.
Kudos to you.
Well,
kudos
you can say
all around. Yes.
I won't disagree with you, but the saint that's probably
canonization at very least.
Okay, at least consideration. It should run up to the Vatican, even though I didn't get confirmed. I think they'll overlook that.
Yeah.
The Flyers skated past the Red Wings in overtime last night, 3-2. The Pistons play Utah at home tonight to tip off for that set for 6 o'clock. That's sports.
Have a great day, St. Dave.